Welcome back to BST, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another episode. What a game. What a series. The World Series never disappoints, but this one was especially good this year. Dodgers win it in 7. It kind of feels like evil won. And I know a lot of people might hate that take, but I just think it would have been so good for baseball if the Toronto Blue Jays won. A team that, they're paying money to some guys, but it's not like the Dodgers. The Dodgers have, you know, thrown a lot of cash at players, and they kind of have a Super Bowl team, or not a Super Bowl team, a super team. It's like if the Blue Jays would have won this, it's almost kind of a miracle. And in a certain sense, even though I know the Blue Jays are a great team and they deserve to be here and they deserve to be in a game 7 with a chance to win it multiple times in this game, we'll get to that. It feels almost like a disappointment for the Dodgers that it was this difficult for them just with this team. And I think it shows that in baseball, teams get hot, teams get cold. And even if you have some amazing players, a team like the Blue Jays who did not, they had a great regular season, don't get me wrong, but a team that did not have this expectation coming in can make a run like this. And I think it would have been just really special for the city of Toronto, which has faced so much heartbreak when it comes to sports. You have the Blue Jays who haven't won a cup since, 1967? And you got the Raptors who won one a few years ago, granted. And you have the Blue Jays who haven't won since 1993. So it's been a rough go for Toronto sports, and it's yet another heartbreak. And in this game 7, they had multiple chances, and they held the lead for 9 1/3 innings of this game, and it's just brutal. It is just brutal. I guess they didn't hold the lead for 9 1/3. It's more like 7 1/3 innings or whatever it was. But yeah, let's just hop into this game. It's fresh on the mind at this point. So going into it, it's Shohei, it's Max Scherzer. Shohei's on short rest, only the second time in his career he's doing that. But honestly, going into it, I'm like, this is not a good matchup for the Blue Jays. Max Scherzer coming into this playoff had been really poor, and I remember he faced off against the Mariners, because I think the Mariners had a series lead at the moment in that series. And I texted my buddy who's a Mariners fan. I'm like, hey, Scherzer's pitching for you guys. You guys should have this game. Or Scherzer, oh my God, I can't speak. Scherzer is pitching against you guys, so you should have this game. Because, I just looked at his ERA during the regular season, and it wasn't good. But honestly, give Scherzer his credit. He has pitched really well in these playoffs, and they turned to him in Game 7, and he had a great performance. 4 1/3 innings, only 1 earned run. That's as good as you can ask for from a 41-year-old Scherzer, who granted is a Hall of Famer, but he just has not been the same player, and he's old. What can you really ask from him at this point? And I just thought it was a really gutsy performance, and he did what he needed to do. And by the time he left the game, they had the lead. And for Shohei, he was really poor. Only 2 1/3 innings pitched and 3 earned runs, all on the big Bo Bichette 3-run home run in the the 3rd inning. And at that point, it kind of felt like the magic was on Toronto's side, and you get that big run. But the name of the game for Toronto was they left too many runners on the bases. I think it was 14 or 15 by the end of the night, and you just can't do that against the Dodgers. So you get the 3-0 lead, and they're forced to move off of Ohtani. They go to Robleski, or however you say his name, and he's kind of just like a buffer zone. Didn't allow a run, did a good job. And then you get to Glass now. But by that point, it's just tough against the Dodgers. They just chip away. You get 2 sac flies from Edman and Hernandez, And before you know it, it's 3-2. So, I mean, your 3-0 lead that kind of felt like the game was in your favor, it's right back to being questionable. But then in the sixth, you're able to get a run. And I thought the duo of Clement and Jimenez at the bottom of the lineup was awesome. I mean, Clement now has the MLB record for hits in a postseason. He has been money. And Jimenez hits him in, and you're able to get a 4-2 lead at that point in the sixth. And it's looking good now because, I mean, you're getting down to the wire here. You're close, and it's just they just don't go away. They just don't. And in the eighth, with Savage pitching, who, you know, I kind of was a little nervous when he came in. He's had a great postseason. He's a rookie, though, so I was like, man, it's going to be tough here. And he gives the solo homer to Max Muncy, and at the time, you're like, you'll take it, I guess, if he's just giving up that, you know? And so going into the bottom of the ninth, and they get the first out. You're up 4-3. You're 2 outs away with Hoffman, who looks like he has some great stuff. He's pitching well, and he just hangs one for Rojas. And, I mean, the 9-hitter takes him deep. And it's 4-4. And you're like, man, the Dodgers have done it again. But I can't remember the exact situations in this game, but throughout the sequence, I mean, both teams are leaving runners on bases. I think that's why it's like one of the best games I've ever watched, because it wasn't just like, it's a pretty low scoring game for 11 innings, and it wasn't just like clinic pitching. It was really like these managers were having to stress their pitchers a ton. I mean, they were getting bases loaded, runners on first and second, first and third, second and third, and they were just finding ways out of them. Both sides did a really great job. And in the bottom of the ninth, because Rojas ties it in the top, you know, I believe they had bases loaded, and they're just not able to get it done. I mean, it's Hernandez and I think it's Rojas again, or Pajes or whatever. They run into each other, and Pajes comes up with the ball, of course, to send it to extras. And it just, at that moment, I'm like, all right, it's probably over, because they really exhausted all their options to try and push it in that inning to win. And I'm just like, there's no way that they can win the race against the Dodgers pitching at this point. I mean, the Dodgers used all 4 of their major starters in this game. Glasnow, Ohtani, Snell, and then Yamamoto. And let's touch on Yamamoto, because he gets the final out to win the World Series. And, I mean, this guy is a monster. So he pitched in Game 2, had 9 innings pitched, complete game. Only allowed 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, got the win, all of that. And then he pitches yesterday in Game 6. 6 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, got the win, all that. And coming into this game, Dave Roberts had said that he was available to pitch if they needed him. And he comes in extra innings, and that's kind of when I knew this game was over, because this guy is a robot, and I mean, it's hard to dispute that he is not the best pitcher on the planet right now. And I mean, I just don't think we've seen this level of durability and stamina. I mean, you pitch a complete game in Game 2, you know, and then you come in Game 6, pitch 6 innings, and then you come in the World Series 24 hours later, and you pitch 2 2/3 innings and win the World Series. I mean, that is an unbelievable effort, and he wins the MVP. So shout out to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I mean, what a performance, man. What a dog. What a guy. I mean, I hate the Dodgers, but I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. And I mean, he deserves the World Series MVP more than anyone. And I will say, I think Vlad Guerrero, undisputedly, if they would have won, he deserved it for the Blue Jays. I mean, he had a historic playoff run. I mean, he's top 3 in hits in a postseason, like top 2 in extra base hits, a whole bunch of different categories. An unbelievable postseason run from Vlad Guerrero. I mean, he played his heart out, and like George Springer had a good postseason run, had 3 hits in this game, came up clutch all the time. You just got to shout out both teams. Both teams just had some dogs who came to play and just couldn't get the job done at the end of the day. And in extras, it's Will Smith in the top of the 11th who gets a go-ahead home run off of Shane Bieber. And what's funny is I thought Shane Bieber was pitching really good, and then he gives up the hanger, and Will Smith doesn't miss it. And I think that's just the problem with the Dodgers. You can get a lead on them, you can do all this stuff, but if you let them claw back into the game, it's going to be a problem because they have that championship pedigree. It's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, if you let them back in a game, they're going to take advantage of your missed opportunities. It's just going to happen. And the Blue Jays stranding 14 or 15 runners was massive tonight. And early on, they had Bo Bichette was a little bit injured in this game, and was good enough to play, but he did not have his legs, and he's hobbling on the base paths. They eventually pulled him for Kiner Falefa, which I thought that was the right move then to try to get a run to win it. But that kind of hurt him in the end because then you don't have him at a certain point. But yeah, I mean, if you have a regular runner in there early on in the game, I believe the second inning or something, like he probably scores, and you don't have him there. So I mean, if it's just anybody else, except maybe Kirk, because I don't think Kirk makes it there because he's quite slow as well. But if you have anybody else, like you're scoring in the second, when I can't remember who hit the double, but I mean, you gotta score there, and this is a different ball game. But if ifs and buts or whatever the expression is, like you can't say if this, if that. You just can't. In this close of a game, the Dodgers deserve this game. They got the more timely hits when they needed them. But yeah, I think the Blue Jays are a fantastic team. But the thing in baseball, it's hard. I think it's similar with the Mariners. It's similar with the Blue Jays. When you capture momentum like this, it can take you a long way. And, it's just going to be tough to get back here for them. They have a great team. But, it's just tough. It's really tough. So that's why the Dodgers winning back-to-back is a crazy accomplishment. First time since the Yankees back in the day. So congratulations to the Dodgers. What a series. I mean, you had the game one where Toronto takes a big lead, and then game two, Dodgers fight back, win pretty handily 5-1. Game 3, that's the crazy one that goes 18 innings. That's why I think this is one of the greatest World Series ever, is because you had that crazy moment. 18 innings is wild. And I think for the Blue Jays, you can look back at that game and be like, that could have gone our way too. So Dodgers win that one 6-5. But then the Blue Jays battle back, winning game 4 and 5, 6-2, and then 6-1. To get it back in Toronto at home for Game 6 and Game 7. And, I mean, if you have that opportunity, you should expect to win those. And in Game 6, I mean, you have the moment at the end where you got runners on base and you just get doubled off because the guy reads the hit into the outfield a little bit weird and he gets doubled off. And part of me thinks if that would have gone back to Springer, which it would have, I think they might walk it off there, and they might be the World Series champions in 6. But the Dodgers get a gritty win there, and the Dodgers get a gritty win tonight. But what a World Series. Just one of the greatest World Series we will ever witness, and one of the greatest games we will ever witness, if not the greatest game we will ever witness. Baseball's awesome, man. 4 hours of game time in this game. Just outstanding. Just one of the greatest games I've ever witnessed, hands down. So yeah, I just wanted to come here and talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I've never been so locked into a baseball game, but it was so much fun to watch. just a little disappointing that it was the Dodgers who won and not the Blue Jays. And the Dodgers going to go for 3 in a row. The Yankees did it. Can the Dodgers do it? Who knows? It's going to be tough. And I think the Blue Jays showed that it's not impossible to beat the Dodgers, but it does kind of feel like evil won today. But, hang in there, Toronto. You guys got some good teams, man. You're going to get it eventually. Not sure which team's going to do it for you, but I think the Maple Leafs have pieces to do it, and obviously the Blue Jays showed that they got what it takes as well. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Pretty disappointed, pretty somber, just what could have been, man. And I know I'm not taking anything away from Dodgers fans. You guys have a great team. I just think, at a certain point, when will they stop losing? They've kind of just bought their championship. So that's where I'm at. I'm an Astros fan, so we kind of cheated our way to a championship, so I can't really talk, but that's just kind of where I'm at with this whole thing. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Fun slate of NFL football tomorrow. We will be back reacting to that tomorrow night. So, yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it. And stay safe and have a good night, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.